to another broadcast from Slug.org. Your information technology answers are here.
Hi everyone, I'm Stephen Wycup, and welcome back to another edition of Slug TV with Laura Rose. And today we're talking about compensation and different options and ideas for negotiating your compensation. Welcome to the show, Laura. Great to have you back.
Thanks, Steve. It's great to be here.
So, compensation, touchy topic, but you know there are a lot of different component parts now to compensation, and I specifically call it compensation instead of your pay, because it really is a lot more than that now. Talk to me about what you're seeing.
Well, in these days, compensation is really tied to your value to the company. So that's why it's a tricky and difficult conversation. But what we want to emphasize is compensation is not just associated with a bonus or a salary or a raise or monetary. We want to take a look at compensation as what's going to improve your quality of life. And sometimes that's going to be a better negotiation foundation than, say, a salary or a raise. And by quality of life, I mean, well, maybe they will help with a continual education, or you going towards a certification in a particular area that the company is growing in. And that's going to help both the company and you. So you can start negotiation about, additional training in a new area as a substitute for perhaps a bonus or a raise.
Right.
Or maybe I would like to have the freedom to work 4 days a week instead of 5 days a week, and I'd be able to free up my Friday for my own personal community service or being with the kids, things like that. We also talked about some negotiation tactics around more flexible work lifestyle, maybe part-time at home or full-time at home, things like that. You can also throw in, hey, let's do, I would love to do some community service during the week. Can we do some, your Friday afternoon, I work at, Habitat for Humanity, things like that. So just keep an open mind on how you want to negotiate these things.
Yeah, there are a lot of different options. I know for a lot of people, the flexibility of the schedule, if you can say, I'm going to get my stuff done, and I'd like more flexibility in the schedule to get that done, and you just have to prove that you'll get that done and make sure that you come through on that. But that can be a big thing. Vacation time, maybe
Absolutely.
if you give me a couple, 3 more days of vacation or something like that, that would be helpful. People have to keep in mind that companies, too, are dealing with a lot of uncertainties looking forward with all the things that are happening with the economy and all that. So the companies are going to be really hesitant to say, yes, let's triple your pay going forward, and they're going to be looking at more flexible options when it comes to different ideas.
Right, and you can be more successful in those options if you can tie some company benefit to them.
Right.
Like we were talking about the training, or maybe if you're traveling for the company, say, I want to go to this conference in Tennessee, but I also know that we have 5 or 6 important clients in the Tennessee area. If I have permission to go to these conferences, I will also do a personal on-site visit with these clients. So always keep what we're talking about, business owner mentality. How can I bring benefit back to the company with these suggestions or options?
Yep, great ideas, great ideas. And what do you do when the boss says no? Just flat no, and how do you deal with that kind of a situation?
Well, go with an open mind, saying this is just, go into the meeting and say, this isn't a yes or no type meeting. I'm just trying to give some other alternatives. So when he says no, I'm not going to do that. You can say, oh, okay, so what exactly stops us from doing this? Or do you have some other options or other alternatives? Make it a conversation. Okay, ask them to explain why this option doesn't work. He would say, okay, well, we don't have any funds for education right now. He says, okay, what are some of the things that you see that we can work with? He goes, okay, well, we could add vacation time, or have him come up with some ideas.
Right. Yeah, and I think I was kind of grinning when you said go in and say this is not a yes or no conversation. If you could start with that, it at least takes that pressure off of them too. And they say, look, I just want to talk. There's some ideas. I've been doing 50% more stuff than when I started, and I feel like I've been doing a really good job. Here's kind of a look at what I've been doing, and we've had some really good successes. And I was looking for some help on some of these things that I'd like to be able to do.
And absolutely, and actually, add there your appreciation for their support in the past, and that's why you're coming to them for some additional insight, because they're in a better position to tell you what the company can and can't provide.
Right. Good feedback, good ideas. Well, very good. Great counsel as always, Laura. Thank you very much for being on the show. It's really great to have you on.
This is great. Thanks, Steve.
Look forward to next time, and I'm sure we'll have some very interesting topics. And we should remind people too, before we sign off, that if you guys have things that you would like to see, this is the time, man. Just send us an email, let us know what you'd like to see on the program, and I'll make sure that we get together and put together a show for you all. So just send an email to swink, SWYNK, @swug.org, and we'll make sure that we get it on the air. So thanks again, Laura. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Steve.